then you're looking at potential for another world war. All because a bunch of Zionists a bunch of rabbis decided to go into Al-aqsa Mosque and pull a stunt doing Talmudic rituals.
It's like, it doesn't make any difference to me what's going on over there. Who cares? Well, that's where the whole fucking thing's going to happen, okay? What you don't understand is that's where it's going to start. It's not starting with the Russians and the United States. It's not starting with the Chinese, taking on Taiwan and stuff like that. It's about this.
Israeli forces raid Al-aqsa Mosque, over 150 Palestinians. Wait a second. April 15th, 2022.
A year ago. Something happened that day.
Something did happen.
I know that something happened because I know we mentioned something about.
Hey! Look, that's the same day a fire broke out at the Al-aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. And Notre Dame happened to catch on fire.
A year ago on April 15th.
Speaking about the end times and biblical prophecy, Israeli extremists storm pretty much the Al-aqsa Mosque compound under police protection. Scores of Israeli radicals worshipped at the Al-aqsa Mosque compound on Sunday. So, I mean, this is one of the holiest places for Muslims. It's a holy area for all three Semitic religions. So, stormed and occupied East Jerusalem, the Al-aqsa Mosque compound on Sunday under police protection. That's an interesting thing to admit.
You stormed the mosque with police protection.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that. Scores of radicals attended the site, the third holiest in Islam. So they're one of the holiest places on Islam. In East Jerusalem, extremists go under police protection. Gotcha. Yeah. So here's where so there's been tension building over here. And so why are we covering Jewish news? Because here's the thing: is this Russia-Ukraine news is only going to hold on for so long? Whether it be a year more, whether it be months more, whether it be 2 years more. The point is, eventually there's going to be another fucking big kaboom. And this one has a little bit more heat behind it. The Al-aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. There's a lot of talk about tunnels that are going on underneath there. You can search Al-aqsa Mosque tunnels, Israeli digging underground tunnels under the mosque, how excavations work to rewrite history, secret tunnels under Al-aqsa Mosque. Somewhere there used to be videos of it. Islamic organization condemns Israeli tunnels near Al-aqsa Mosque. Step inside the hidden tunnels under Jerusalem's sacred Western Wall. It's a really
what are the tunnels for?
Tunnels under
evacuations. Okay.
Under Al-aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. So, it's not like there were any. Remember that time that there was an explosion underneath the World Trade Center. Remember that? And there was another thing that happened there that a lot of Jews happened to be around, like all the Jews that got arrested right afterwards who were connected to the Mossad and urban moving company. Nothing to worry about here, except for the fact that this is literally on their turf. And if you want to get spookadoo about it,
but the Jews are a peaceful group of people, aren't they?
Yeah, they've never had issue with anyone else ever, haven't they?
Wait. There was some ship that got shot by the Israelis. The
USS Liberty.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, that was an accident.
That was a mistake. Yeah.
Blaze. So
sorry, we shot these 9 missiles at you. It was only supposed to be 2.
You remember? So the Al-aqsa Mosque. If you want to talk about setting Muslims and Christians against each other and having the Jews be a part of it and religious wars, if you remember, if we want to talk about coincidences, this is just a little bit too much of one for me. Blaze erupts at Jerusalem Al-aqsa Mosque as the same time Notre Dame burns. Third holiest site in Islam on Monday blazed in and caused significant damage. Notre Dame Paris wasn't only the beloved house of worship, they caught fire Monday. Yeah, so that is So the same day you had one of the most important Christian monuments, churches, buildings, and the Muslim one going up
at the same time.
at
Hours
this
later.
time. Totally unrelated.
Oh, the third temple.
Here.
There we go.
It happened a couple years after that, preparing for the the thing about the Al-aqsa mosque is it's kind of directly in the fucking way. So instead of remodeling it or rebuilding it or changing the fucking name on it and moving some colors and flags around,
moving it, yeah.
there just happens to be building a bunch of tunnels underneath there. I wonder what the fuck could happen.
Nothing. They're not going to blow it up, are they? That would cause a huge war over there. Oh wait, that's all they've been doing for what, 500 centuries?
Judaism believes that the third temple will be built in the time of the Mashiach. So any forward discussion of it before this period of redemption is not typically encouraged and may even be considered sacrilegious in some ultra-Orthodox circles. So literally biblical shit. Where this building is where this building is at. And there just happens to be an article in the Times of Israel talking about preparing for the third temple.
Again, like I said before, way too many coincidences, way too much stuff that nobody even knows about unless you really want to dig into it, and nobody wants to hear about it anyways.
Right.
It's like, it doesn't make any difference to me what's going on over there. Who cares? Well, that's where the whole fucking thing's going to happen, okay? What you don't understand is that's where it's going to start. It's not starting with the Russians and the United States. It's not starting with the Chinese, taking on Taiwan and stuff like that. It's about this. Two biggest, one of the biggest religions in the world taking on another religion.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Because look at it this way. Their calligraphy plan has been in full effect. You got brown people all throughout fucking Europe.
Yeah.
And a lot throughout America, and definitely in big cities. Some more than others. So you have a lot of Muslims in those areas too. You have a lot of Muslims in Europe. Moscow is like the most, I think is like more Muslim than any
really
place. Yeah. Like everyone's like, oh, Putin's the great savior of the fucking what? Like, no, he's fucking out for his own people too. But so Muslims in Moscow, you have Muslims in Europe, you have Muslims there. Granted, most of them probably aren't going to be up in arms over shit. And then you can have this thing happen so that you can set Zionist Christians up against the Muslims and you can start a war in the Middle East once again and make great support. And they can, from the U.S. government, and they can work on expanding the greater state of Israel, which they've been doing and doing false flags for year after year after year. Well, not year after year, but you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
They're going to continue to bomb Gaza because there's no repercussions for it. They're going to keep saying we're about to go in on the ground. They will not go in on the ground until they get that money from the U.S. so they can buy enough mercenaries to go throw in there and die. So they don't want their own boys going in there. That will, unless Netanyahu gets ousted. As I said this on Red Ice too. There's two ways this can go. Either the Israeli public gets rid of Netanyahu and ends this conflict that way, or it escalates and he ends up in a war with Gaza, Hezbollah, and the West Bank. And that has a very high chance of bringing in Iran and Syria. Could get financial support from Turkey and Qatar. It could really escalate, and that would bring in the U.S. inevitably. And then you're looking at potential for another world war. All because a bunch of Zionists a bunch of rabbis decided to go into the Al-aqsa mosque and pull a stunt doing Talmudic rituals. Hooray. Oy vey.